Okay, so something important is happening at Google DeepMind, not because they announced one scary secret model.
I think we'll see a lot of that happening this year and next year. I think we need to worry about things like bio and cyber risk very soon.
Not because there's proof they built an AI and locked it away forever. The real story is more subtle and honestly more important. Gemini is moving beyond chat. Google is building AI systems that don't just answer questions. They plan, they use tools, they connect workflows, they act more like agents. And here's the part that matters. Google DeepMind's own safety work shows that autonomy is one of the biggest things they're watching. So the question isn't just how powerful is Gemini? The question is, what happens when AI stops waiting for prompts and starts executing goals? Hey, if we haven't crossed paths yet, welcome to AiTrive. Seriously, drop a comment below. We read every single one. Now, about Gemini. Forget the simple marketing line that it's just a better chatbot. That's not the real shift. What I'm about to walk you through is how Gemini fits into a much bigger change. The rise of autonomous AI systems. Models that can reason longer, use tools, coordinate steps, and complete more complex tasks with less human supervision. And by the end, you'll understand why this is exciting and why safety researchers are paying such close attention. So let's just go. Let's talk about what's happening around frontier AI labs like Google DeepMind. Over the last couple of years, the conversation has changed. It used to be about bigger models, better benchmarks, more impressive demos. Now the conversation is shifting toward control, autonomy, evaluation, and safety. Current and former employees from major AI labs, including people connected to companies like Google DeepMind and OpenAI, have publicly warned that frontier AI development needs more transparency and stronger safety practices. That doesn't prove there's a hidden, forbidden version of Gemini sitting in a server room somewhere, but it does tell us something important. People close to these systems are worried about where the trajectory is going, and that trajectory is not just smarter chatbots. It's AI systems that can take broader goals, break them into steps, and act through tools. That is the real signal. To understand why Gemini matters, you have to understand three changes happening at the same time. First, frontier AI companies are getting better at predicting capability. Scaling laws, evaluations, and model testing are becoming more systematic. Labs are not just randomly hoping the next model is better. They can often estimate how capability changes when they adjust compute, data, architecture, and training methods. That makes the future feel compressed because progress becomes easier to forecast. Second, extended reasoning changes the game. For a long time, people thought progress mainly meant more parameters, but now, a lot of the action is happening at inference time, giving models more time and compute to reason, plan, check their work, and revise before giving an answer. That matters because a model that thinks longer can often solve problems that a quick response model misses. It's not just bigger, it's more deliberate. Third, AI is increasingly helping build better AI. This does not mean a runaway self-improving AGI loop has already started. That would be too strong. But AI is already being used to generate training data, evaluate outputs, write code, test systems, and speed up research workflows. So the development loop is getting faster. A model helps improve the process. That process helps train or deploy the next model, and the cycle accelerates. That's the part people underestimate. Alright, so what are we actually looking at? The safest way to think about Gemini's future is not as one giant secret chatbot. It's better to think of Gemini as the intelligence layer inside agentic systems. A chatbot waits for your next message. An agent takes a goal and starts working through the steps. Imagine giving a system an objective like research this market, compare competitors, draft a strategy, build a spreadsheet, and prepare a presentation. A normal chatbot gives you text. An agentic system can break the task down, search for information, call tools, write code, generate files, verify the output, and keep working across multiple stages. That's the important difference. Gemini is not just about answering better, it is about being connected to workflows, email, documents, code, enterprise tools, search, meetings, and business operations. That's why the word agent matters. It's not just a buzzword anymore. It's the direction the entire industry is moving. Why safety researchers are paying attention. And this is exactly where the safety questions get serious. Google DeepMind has its own frontier safety framework. That framework is basically a public signal of what the company thinks could become risky as models get more capable. The risks are not just the model says something wrong. That's the old problem. The newer problem is what happens when a model can plan, use tools, persuade people, write code, code, search information, and operate across longer tasks. Then the questions get heavier. How do you verify that the system is actually aligned with your intent? How do you stop it if it starts optimizing for a shortcut you didn't expect? How do you audit a decision that came from many hidden steps of reasoning, tool calls, and intermediate actions? How much autonomy should a model have before a human must approve the next step? That's the real tension. The capability is moving fast. The safety frameworks are improving, but governance, auditing, and human oversight are still trying to catch up. And that's why the story matters. Not because we can prove Gemini is too dangerous to release, but because Google's own safety work shows that advanced autonomy is a real risk category, not science fiction. What this means for you. Okay, so what does any of this actually mean for you and me? First, the AI tools you're using now may feel basic sooner than people expect. Today, most people still use AI like a search box or writing assistant, but the next phase is delegation. Instead of asking, write me a paragraph, you'll say, plan the campaign, analyze the data, draft the assets, prepare the report, and tell me what needs approval. That's a completely different relationship with software. Second, this probably won't arrive as one dramatic Ultra launch. It may appear quietly inside enterprise tools, agent modes, productivity apps, coding platforms, and workflow automation. You may not even notice the exact moment it happens. One day, the assistant answers questions. The next day, it completes projects. Third, the economic shift could be massive. If a company can assign research, planning, analysis, coding, and documentation to AI agents, the bottleneck changes. The value moves from doing every step manually to knowing what to ask, what to approve, and how to judge the output. That means human judgment becomes more important, not less. Fourth, safety becomes everyone's problem. Not just labs, not just governments, not just researchers. If autonomous systems enter workplaces, schools, finance, media, and software development, then oversight has to become part of how we use them. Because the danger is not only evil AI, the more realistic danger is over-trusting systems we don't fully understand. So this is the moment, not 10 years from now, right now. Google, DeepMind, OpenAI, Anthropic, Meta, and other major labs are all moving toward more capable AI systems. The question is not whether AI will become more autonomous, it already is. The question is how much autonomy we give it, who gets to control it, and what safety checks exist before these systems operate at scale. And most people still have no idea how big this shift is. If you want to stay in the loop as this story unfolds, do me a favor, hit subscribe to AiTrive. We'll keep breaking down the signals together. What do you think? Should AI agents be released widely, or should companies slow down until safety and oversight catch up? Drop your take below. I read every comment. The future is being built right now. Let's make sure we're paying attention. Catch you in the next one.